markets are really volatile. You look at the crypto market, you can see the volatility. We are getting to the upside, downside, fluctuating all the way inside that. But volatility is what gives you that opportunity to make money. But at the same point, you also need to understand that you need to know where you are in that cycle. So right now, looking at the market, you may feel like, okay, that's a huge drop in stock market, 12%. So if you actually take a step back and look what happened previously, that was like 36%. Fine. Now, we are human beings. We tend to forget the past. And that's why most of the mistakes are repeated. You look at the 2008 one, it's 58% drop. So this is S&P 500 showing you that we have a top. Now, if you are looking at each of these top, you have a run up. Now, this is on a monthly, so you're scaled. So others will not actually feel like that. Before you drop, you had this run up. From 2,800, it went all the way up to 3,390. Then it dropped. Now we come here, you had the financial crisis, 2008, you had this retest of the previous top, dropped. Fine. Now this is S&P 500. Now if you look at individual stocks here, this is Apple. Yes, we dropped, but if you zoom out, you can actually see it's actually going sky high. If you look at this all the way from 2010, you are observing that it's going up, 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 up. So the 2008 financial crisis, if you are looking at this chart, this feels like a teeny tiny bump, but it was actually a 60% drop in the market. But right now, if you're looking at it, you can see a lot more correction happening inside the market in a similar fashion. You got 40%, you got 30%. So as you're going higher, you're still getting these corrections, but the difference is you're fluctuating in between. You're not actually getting that 50-60% drop. So right now, if you put that into perspective, you are going to drop from the top at least a 30%, which is kind of the average there, say 30-35%. So it comes here. But what if it's big recession? That's coming all the way back down 50-60% here. That would be worse. Now, it's not only Apple, it's not only Tesla. You can actually literally see the drop here, right? Tesla has already dropped 30%. You go to Netflix, we have already dropped 50%. The market has this. Now, why am I actually showing you this? Because I personally feel like even though gold is a safe haven asset, I think crypto is somewhat trending in the same way. Now, I'll give you my justification for that. Say most of the people who buy low wait through that cycle, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, and then take the profit. So now if you are looking at this, now by most of the people, I mean people like this, the big investors, the real investors. This is Peter Lynch. For those who don't know him, he was one of the best mutual fund manager at Magellan Fund. He managed that and was like 29% a year for 13 years. So yes, he killed it. But now if you are looking at this, just read that. His best stocks performed the 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year. So he owned them and he understood that he's not going to get it on the 3rd or 4th week. So this is why majority of people have issue while they are investing. Now, coming back to my point, why do I think that crypto is doing somewhat similar to that of gold right now? Because some are like gold. They reach the all-time highs and they are consolidating. They are giving you that proper understanding of your trend. You have this higher high, then a higher low. You went all the way up, creating a higher high, which was above the all-time high, and you are now consolidating there. Now, what is that place there? This is the all-time highs, previous all-time highs, where you are consolidating, right? So that is gold. Now, if you are jumping on a silver, you see like, okay, fine. Now, everyone here, I think, will completely agree that silver is not a bullshit coin or a bullshit asset, basically. You have seen it running all the way from that $4 towards $50 in history, right? And even before that, if you are looking at that 1971, Nixon took out the dollar after the gold standard, that all stuff panning out, it went all the way from $1 towards that $50. Now that's history. So if you are familiar with history, you now understand something, right? So now taking back that comparison with gold and silver. Silver is not near the all-time highs. It's still here in the wave 1. Now, what is the difference between these? In one, you get a higher ROI compared to the other one, right? You got real rally. Now, in gold, yes, it will do good, but it may not be like this, right? So this one, if you're taking into account, you can see something like XRP, XLM, other assets which are still here above the all-time highs, above the accumulation range. My mistake there. So if you are comparing it with gold, yes, we are somewhere close to the all-time high. We are retesting that, but understand, even in crypto market, this one stays the same. So if I'm going back and trying to give you that idea, look at this one. Back in 2016, when he sold his house and entire family moved out of that and started to do that minimalistic life, it was 681 BTC for his house. Then in a year it was 300, then 22, 77. It's fluctuating there, right? So in the meantime, from 2018 to 2019, from 22 it went to 77, then dropped 42, 10, 6. Now what does that mean? His dollar value of that house is dropping. The value in that asset, Bitcoin, is going up. So as he been here 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, wow, 21, 22, 6 years, he's actually seeing his portfolio ballooning. So yes, it was a real good investment in the first year, the second year, but look at it right now. In terms of ROI, that's magical. That's why I was highlighting this really works. Fourth and fifth year, it's ballooning. So if you understand which asset you're buying here, that's crypto, in the crypto market, you actually have a ton of opportunity. So that's why we mostly focus on the real asset. One of our favorite, which is XRP, we're actually looking at the Bitcoin, the altcoin market cap, and comparing that with how the XRP is looking at right now. Yes, we are trending lower. Yes, we are in a tighter range, but the RSI shows us we are breaking to the downside. We still have room to consolidate here. We may even wick lower to retest this previous bottom, but if you are looking at the macro point, we are holding on to this support. So the macro understanding of your investments is going to give you that key to stay strong, mentally prepared to go through this to make the real money. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family. Without wasting time, jumping back into the same topic. Now, if you are looking at this, you will actually see, okay, there is a lot of news coming out. Now, why XRP? There's a lot of reasons why. If you are looking at the United Nations, IMF, all around the globe, the agenda being pushed is that net zero, sustainable, green. And yes, I'm not saying it's only XRP. I'm saying there is a lot of possibilities that it can be XRP or XRP ledger. So when you are listening to the financial minister from the UK, you kind of have this understanding, okay, they are talking relatively about first ever net zero aligned financial center. So on the other aisle of this, you see the US doing everything stupid, right? This is now, yes, you can actually put the blame on the tether and the market like that, but in general, you're getting mixed news, that confusion in the market and everything. Say here, you get that perspective, like the Biden administration is planning executive action to regulate cryptocurrencies. So it's not only US trying to regulate cryptocurrencies, you also see that happening from Russia. Recently, we got news that Russia is going to ban Bitcoin and crypto mining. And right now, you're getting that idea, no, they're going to regulate it. Now, what is it? Whether it's going to be regulated or is it actually going to be mined? Meaning, if they're going to allow mining, it's fine. Whether it's regulated or not, it's actually fine. It's just going to impact the market for a short while, but then the market will digest. But if it's banning, like China, they have to move out, find a new location, settle down like that. But I don't think Russia is up to that. This is a possibility. They are going to regulate crypto, and that's great, because once you have that regulatory clarity, this stuff, that confusion, you put anything and it's getting rejected, it won't be there. You look at Canada, you look at any other place, Switzerland, wherever you look, you have clarity for this technology because they know this is the future, and that's why others are running high on here. So when we are highlighting now, shout out to XRP researcher and the number one waffler, but it can be XRP. I won't say it is XRP, but majority of the chances are that it can be XRP. And one of the idea here is majority of the possibilities that you can buy this asset at its low and hold it to make money. So if you are going back to the investments, you are say easily looking at the XRP on a daily, 4-hour, whatever you want, and then you're understanding, okay, we are trending lower, fine, we are having these lows here, we are going to the downside. Now look at the RSI, you see that we are going to retest the low. Okay, RSI is slowly rounding back to the downside, where you have these resistance, you are getting rejected. So what's the next level you are looking at? If you are a buyer, if you are looking to buy more in this asset, okay, this has been your strong support. Now if you remember the chart which I've showed you for Bitcoin and then gold, then silver, you are kind of having the same idea here right now. This is something similar to that of pattern you can observe. Now it's volatile, I agree, and there's a lot of communication issues with the price and we as normal investors, but this is same day, right? You got this accumulation range, you went above, you're consolidating there, wave one completed, done. Now if you are looking at the altcoin market, it is at the top and it is also doing the same, but it's above the all-time highs. It's consolidating above the all-time highs. That is not a small thing, because you look at Bitcoin, it is correcting but way above its all-time high. Now how many of us can actually directly easily digest this fact that even though Bitcoin is down right now, it's way above its all-time highs? So that is way when you come on to watch these long-term investors, you understand how they really make that money. They take the decision, they go ready, they are prepared, and they are not taking that step back. So if you are here to make money, you need this perspective. Now it's not only some random crypto guy doing some weird stuff, which I know some calls weird stuff, but you come look at the professional, the all-time best investors giving you the same perspective. So let it be any asset class, you are able to get that wisdom as we discuss here, giving you that perspective. You actually get that idea to know what the market is going to do. So now if Bitcoin is about to do this, then what are you observing in your altcoin market? We can literally say this is going to happen. That is a possibility. Now this is nothing but I've taken this candle to here, I haven't actually scaled it up, put it in place. So if this is the trend, you have a long way to go to the upside. Now what does that actually mean? You look at from the bottom here, wave one, you have actually done around 6x, and then you are fluctuating all the way like 30-35x. Great. So from here, if you are anticipating the top, you get like big numbers around 250-300x, which is actually super big right now. So if you are looking at it on the previous cycle, yes, you got 5x, 6x in the first one, but afterwards it actually went skyrocketed like 390x. So right now, yes, the upside compared to that one is low, but 250x, 280x is not a small number. Now, not every asset in this asset class is actually going to do that. We know that, fine. But even if it's 20x, we will take it, right? Now, if your portfolio is actually aligned in a different way, you're going to get some running these crazy 100x and some running 10-20x. So when your position size is bigger, you really don't want to take huge risk. So now you're looking at XRP, it has some difference from the altcoin market. Fine. It is doing something similar to that of big cap coins, except say Ether, Cardano, they went above the all-time highs, they created all-time highs, they are fluctuating like that. But there is a difference, right? You look at the RSI, you see opportunity. Why? This is your previous support zone which you broke to the downside. Now you are reaching another big level of support here, which we haven't actually reached yet. We still have a little bit room to the downside there. Now why do I say that? Because right now we just broke this. I thought we are going to hold this one, we broke this. That definitely means we have room to the downside till here, which is a macro big support. So if we don't reach there, it's going to be really hard. So that is why following the chart, at least on a daily basis, alternative days to keep yourself updated in this market is really important, because when you go to the altcoin dominance and you see like, okay, the price is fluctuating like this, we are doing this stuff, you do have to understand no one who is buying here is selling. They're accumulating. Why? Because they understand this is how they make money. So if you are in the market and you have spent a year and you're like, okay, this is not the ROI I want, it's just time, because this is a game of patience. And once you understand that, you are going to ride this cycle. Once you start trending higher, that's when the market actually gives you the ROI as an investor. So like the Bitcoin dominance dropping, the altcoin dominance is moving higher. And in this cycle, you can observe that clearly we are here. We are not actually dropping, we are here. Fine. So if you observe that, yes, we got a lower high again, and then a lower low. So we are kind of trending down, but we just need to make this a bottom, which is a higher low, which shows kind of, okay, we may have a change. Now that's on a weekly. So you go on a daily, look at how it is actually changing. You are fluctuating here. You are doing nothing bad, but yes, consolidation seems to be bad for a lot of people who don't have time on their side. If time is on your side, you are watching the dominance of altcoins like this. You're preparing yourself for a breakout. Now, yes, you will have these wicks, but if you are understanding the market, you are definitely watching for this one. You're going to watch for a breakout. You're going to move higher, which is why we are focusing on this one, right? So you get the higher low here, you're trending to the upside, you get a higher high, which shows that the market can actually do wonders. But on the other side of this, you go to the Bitcoin dominance and you're like, okay, we are trending down, we are trending down, we are trending down. Yes, we are trending down, and as an altcoin investor, you definitely want that. Before, when I was highlighting that we are going to bounce from here, that may not be a good chance, you know, for altcoin investors. But right now you are observing that it's getting resisted so much that it's not being allowed to go upside. It's not being allowed to go to the higher end, right? Fine. Now you look at the RSI, you are actually watching like it's bottoming. It's giving you a higher low here. Again, it's giving you a higher low. But right now, if you're observing this one, this is a higher high grade. You got another one here, but afterwards you didn't actually get quite that one. Now we don't know whether it's going to continue break this one to the upside, but it doesn't actually look like it's happening right now, because on the daily you see like it's coming up here, it's getting rejected. So on going back to that 3-day chart, that's how we actually look at the macro trend. Possibilities are you may go down, so that's lower high, change in the trend. Then if you are putting a lower low, that means yes, you're going to drop. Now that's a lot of patience, because if you understand this one, you will never say like, okay, we have topped out in Bitcoin, because in any top of Bitcoin, you know, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, you never see the price staying there for this long, right? 200, 250 days. You don't see that. You see 30 days, you see 40 days, price blasting off. Now this is from the dominance perspective, right? You go to the price perspective and you'll clearly understand that you see a blast to the top and then drop. I've shown you in the gold chart, I've shown you in the stock chart. This is how it happens most of the time. Now I can be wrong, but if you look at the history and you see like something is repeating 8 times in 10 8 times out of 10, then chances are you will look probably for that similar perspective to repeat, right? You won't actually go for that odd one out of that 2, right? You go with the possibilities. That's investing. You look at the probability and you invest based on that. So if you receive value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you want updates for similar charts, updates for a lot of different assets in your portfolio, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.